Hello and namaskar. Welcome to another session of BW for HANA Tidbits, where I share some of my knowledge and experience. Today I'm going to discuss one of the most popular and interesting topics, and that is SAP's new certification model, which is called certification in the cloud. Well, SAP has changed the way certification works, and the rule of the games have changed, my friend. So in this session, we will look at the SAP certification in the cloud in detail. This session is divided into 5 parts. The first part, we will look at the general information regarding this new model. Then we will look at the pre-exam processes, where the activities you have to do before you take the exam. And then on the D-Day, the exam day, what are the things you need to take care of and what you should do on the exam day. We will look into that. And then we will look into the post-exam activities as well, which includes downloading your badge and your certificate. And finally, we will conclude with our FAQs. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so let's look at the general information regarding the SAP certification in the cloud. So, this new process has a code and a name. The code is CER006 and the name SAP Certification in the Cloud. It gives you 6 attempts, and we'll look at what these 6 attempts mean shortly. So, the new process model is subscription based, and this subscription is actually to the certification hub, which gives access to hundreds of certification options to choose from. The length of the subscription is 12 months. That means it has an expiry date, and definitely it's not free. The subscription cost, a ballpark figure in US dollars, is 550. Attempts. So up to maximum of 6 attempts you can take, meaning that if you clear every certification in the first attempt, you can complete 6 certifications in this one subscription. That means in the 12 months of time. But if you don't clear a certification, you can take that particular certification up to 3 times maximum. But please note that each retake is counted as an attempt. Okay. Alright, so cancellation and rescheduling. It is very flexible in terms of that. Both cancellation and rescheduling can be done anytime, 24 hours before the exam, without any penalties. That's pretty cool. Where to take the exam? Exams can now be taken online as well as on-site. If you're taking exams online, that can be scheduled anytime, 24/7, and from anywhere, including your home sweet home. You just need to have a stable internet connection, a laptop or a computer, having a webcam and audio mandatorily. And of course, if you are taking an exam from your home online or anywhere else online, a proctor, meaning a real person, will be monitoring you all throughout your exam to make sure that we do not cheat, or there are no discrepancies. So how many certifications are available? Well, hundreds. Well, at the time of this recording, I would say around 170 plus certifications are available in around 20 languages. And types of certifications offered? 3 types. First is associate level certification, which is the basic and first level, which covers the fundamental knowledge required for that subject. Then comes the specialist certification, also called Delta certification. This is the second level. That means 1 level up from the associate certification, and it might have some prerequisite, meaning you have to complete 1 or 2 associate certification before you can take a specialist certification. And finally, we have professional certification, which is an advanced level certification which requires a proven project experience. Okay, so badges. Well, SAP starting in 2017 started to release these certification badges with a company called Acclaim. So they have a partnership with a company called Acclaim, and they are responsible to release these badges. These badges are global certification badges which proves your authenticity, and these badges can be verified on the Acclaim website as well. Alright, so last thing I wanted to discuss in the general information section is the Learning Hub subscription. So if you already have a Learning Hub subscription, what does that mean? Does that give you any certifications? Yes. So if you have SAP Learning Hub subscription, we can take up to 2 certification exams as part of that Learning Hub subscription. But process is going to be the same via the Certification Hub. Alright, so now let's look at the pre-exam processes which we have to do before we can take the exam. Alright, so for the pre-exam you have to do 2 things. First, what you have to do is you have to buy the subscription, of course, and then you have to book your certification. So let's look at each of them. First, we have to buy the subscription. How do you buy the subscription? You have to go to the SAP training shop, training.sap.com website, and there on the top search box just type CER006 and hit enter. Well, in the search results you will find the option CER006 SAP Certification in the Cloud, and please make sure that you filter your country to make sure that it is there in your region. So basically, if you are from North America, in United States of America, make sure that the filter appropriately reflects that. Okay, so once you have filtered the country and selected that option, you'll have to add that item to your basket and then proceed to checkout. When you proceed to checkout, you will be requiring an SAP user ID, also called S user ID. This S user ID usually is given by the company with which you work, meaning your employer, or you can also request that from SAP Education support team, and there are different email addresses. If you are in North America, for example, same as me, then the email ID is education.northamerica@sap.com. On the checkout, once you complete the transaction using your bank details, then the confirmation of your purchase will be sent to you via email. So you'll receive an email confirming your purchase and also mentioning some additional details for the login on the SAP Certification Hub website. So this concludes your buying of the subscription. So you have bought the subscription. Now comes the second step, which is the exam booking process. For that, you have to log into the SAP Certification Hub website, and I have given the link already in the description as well. This is the main page, so you land on the main page. There, the first thing you have to do is set your time zone. I will emphasize on this step because this is one of the very important steps. If not done correctly, you can actually miss the exam. So make sure your particular time zone is selected, and where you can do that, on the top right corner there is an option called My Account on this particular Certification Hub website. Go there and then choose your time zone accordingly. Once you have done that, then you will come back to the main page and go to Exam Dashboard option on the top. What Exam Dashboard option will give you is the list of all the certifications included in this subscription, and there are hundreds. As highlighted on the screenshot, you can also see that it will also show you the number of attempts remaining. So for me, I have already done 1 certification. So out of 6, now I have 5 remaining. Once you have selected your particular certification, then you have to set the date and time when you want to take the certification, and allow yourself enough time to prepare for it, of course. And then once it is done, booked, you can go back to exam appointments option and make sure that it is showing there. So for me, C_SAC_1921 SAP Certified Application Associate SAP Analytics Cloud exam date is 23rd of April is showing. That means I have booked that for April. And if you have completed the previous certifications, if any, then the status will be shown there. Highlighted is the status, meaning whether it has been taken or not, approved by auditor, or whatever is the status will be reflected here for your previous certifications. All right, so this concludes your booking. So we have done 2 steps. First is take the subscription, buy the subscription, and the second is book the appointment. Okay, please note that these are 2 separate steps. Okay, so once you have done all that and you are just 24 hours away from an exam, this is what you need to do. So this is the final part of the pre-exam activities, and why this is important is because on the day you don't get any surprises. So 24 hours before the exam, what you should do, you should double check your time zone. Again, very important. Install a question mark browser. So this is a specific browser provided by the education team, and your certification will start in this browser, not in your regular commercial browsers like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox. There is a specific browser and you have to use that. Then you have to run the system check to make sure that your laptop or your computer meets the software requirements, which are Adobe Flash, internet connection, question mark secure browser, webcam, microphone and speaker. And you will find links to do all this on the SAP Certification Hub website. So the link to download the question mark secure browser, the link to do a system check, everything is there on this particular website. For any reason, if the system check is unsuccessful, then you have to check whether you have the latest version of Adobe Flash or not. And even after doing that, if it is still unsuccessful, then please reach out to the technical support team, and the contact for the technical support team can be found on the My Account link on the page. Email ID is there, but if you also want to chat with them, you have the option there. Then once your system check is successful, please install the Zoom meeting software. This is what will be used to connect with your proctor, so it's very important. And then make sure your webcam and audio is working properly, which of course the system check will tell you anyways. And finally, one of the most important steps is arrange for a valid government issued ID card showing your name and signature. This is very important because this will prove your identity, and the proctor is going to take details from the government issued ID card. And the examples of government issued ID card can be passport or your driving license. Alright, so we are on the exam day, the D-Day. So let's look at the activities for the exam day. So on the exam day, you have to make sure of certain things. Let's look at them. First, you have to log in at least 20 to 25 minutes before the exam. Have a well lit and quiet private room, meaning nobody should be there to disturb you. A computer on which you have done the system check 24 hours prior to your exam. And then basically it has a stable internet connection, webcam, speaker, microphone must be working. Government issued ID card, which we already discussed. Log into the SAP Certification Hub. Alright, so once you have all these things ready and you are about to start the exam, you have to log into the SAP Certification Hub and navigate to the exam appointments. There, just 15 minutes prior to your exam time, the link to start your exam will be enabled. And once you click on that link, that will initiate the question mark secure browser, which we have already installed. So then the system check might be repeated by the question mark secure browser just to double check. And then once the system check is done, you will be connected to an online proctor who is a real person, and he or she will connect to you via the Zoom software. That's why we installed the Zoom software one day ago. So he or she will connect via the Zoom software. So your webcam has to be working, your audio has to be working, and your chat option will be working. Then once the proctor connects with you, he or she will explain the procedure, the guidelines, and they will welcome you. Once they do that, they will take a picture of your ID card. So your ID card must have name and signature. Then they will ask you to rotate your camera 360 degrees just to check your environment is appropriate or not. That means no dual monitors, no cell phones nearby, it should be stored away, switched off. No desk phones, no materials on your desk, and you cannot get up during the exam. Yes, you can keep a water bottle with you, but you cannot get up during the exam. So everything you have to do, like maybe go to washroom or have your seats arranged and everything which is required for you to stay put in front of your screen during the exam has to be done. And of course, you should be alone in the room. Nobody should be there to disturb you. So once you acknowledge all this and you accept the rules and guidelines, you can begin the exam. And during the exam, you can flag questions for later reviews. Okay, there will be an option, there will be a button called flag this question. And then once you have attempted or answered all the questions and you want to go back to the flagged questions, you can access the flagged questions via Assessment Navigator. So there will be an option called Assessment Navigator. You click on that and all the flagged questions will be highlighted for you. You can choose them, go back, review, change your option if you think it's necessary, or don't change that, and then finally you submit it. And once you submit, your score will be immediately displayed on the screen. One point to note here is that you cannot take a printout of that score, so that screen will not be printable. However, with the permission of your proctor, you can get your cell phone and take a screenshot on your cell phone of your screen, because I was allowed to do that. And if you pass your exam, you will definitely receive an email with the link for the Acclaim website to access and download your digital badge. So your exam is done, and now let's look at the post-exam activities. Good, so now we are at the final stage, post-exam activities. Let's look at them. First, once you have cleared your exam, your badge will be available on the Acclaim website. So both the badge and the soft copy of the certificates are available. However, there's a slight difference. So badges are available immediately after your exam is over, but certificate takes maybe 2 to 3 days of time. Why? We'll quickly see that. So badge is available on the same day, and the option where you will find the badge is you have to first go to the Acclaim website, and the Acclaim website you have to register. Once you register, then you will get the badge display on the screen. You click on the badge. On the top right corner, there's an option to share. You click on the share, and finally you will get an option of sharing on the LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and a bunch of other options. The second last option is to download the badge, and that's what will give you the ability to download your SAP Global Education badge. Alright, so now the certificate, same process. You go to the Acclaim website, click on the badge, then on the top right corner click on the share, and now instead of the second last option, you have to go to the last option, which is the print option, and you will print that, which will give you an option of PDF soft copy, and this is what it will look like. Now, what is the difference between badge and a certificate? The certificate, why is it available after 2-3 days? Because when the proctor is monitoring you, he or she records the entire session and then sends it to an auditor, and that auditor will then review that recording and will take a decision to either approve it or reject your session, meaning that they will make sure that no cheating was done or there are no discrepancies, and once they are satisfied, they will approve and release your certificate, and that's when you can go and download your certificate. Alright, proof of score. This is something which you usually don't get on the Acclaim website or on your email, but as I told you that once you submit on the secure browser, !secure browser, your score is displayed, and you can ask the permission from the proctor, and if they allow you, which usually they should be allowing you, you can take a picture and keep it for your references. Alright friends, so I hope that gave you a fair idea about the exam process and the new certification model. And now, as the conclusion, let's look at some FAQs. Okay, so let's look at some frequently asked questions. The link I have already given in the description below, so you can find that. That contains a whole lot of questions and answers. Here I'm just covering the most frequently ones. So what happens if I miss my exam? Well, if you haven't cancelled, or you didn't cancel or reschedule your exam within 24 hours and you forgot to take the exam, then it is regarded as an attempt. a no-show attempt, meaning the proctor will mark it as a no-show, and that will be reflected or can be seen under the exam appointment / previous online exam section. So if you have 6 attempts remaining and the first one you forgot, so now you will have 5 attempts remaining. And if this was your 6th attempt, right, then you'll have no more attempts remaining, meaning that you have to book another subscription to take that exam again. So please, and this is where the time zone comes into picture, so be very careful and judicious in making sure that the time zone is correctly chosen. What if I fail the exam? Well, if you fail the exam, you may reschedule the exam for another attempt. That's why SAP has given you 6 attempts, and for the same exam 3 attempts, right? So do not reschedule the same appointment though, create a new appointment for the additional attempt. And of course, you know that if your failed attempt was your last attempt, meaning 6th attempt, then you cannot take within that subscription, you have to go for new subscription. But if you have attempts remaining, of course you can schedule a new appointment for the same certification. And if you have not passed the same examination even after 3 attempts, then you will not be permitted to schedule it again until a new version is published. What languages exam proctors speak? They speak English as of now, but you can also chat with them, right, also in English, but yeah, that's the only language right now they understand. Possible to take a break during the exam? No, we have already discussed that. You cannot get up from your seat during the exam. That's why you should make sure that you make all your prior arrangements accordingly. Alright guys, so that concludes our FAQs and this entire session for the new SAP certification in the cloud model. I hope you liked it. I hope you'll benefit from it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.